Greetings Internet, this is Rod from TechGuysSmartBuy.com, and we're here checking out the Galaxy S6. We're going to talk about some things about it. Actually, we're going to give you 3 reasons why you should buy it, and then as well make sure you check out our other video, 3 reasons why you shouldn't buy it. Samsung has been on a run with their Galaxy S line for quite some while, and for the most part they run pretty well. They've done a lot of good things, a lot of innovative things. But on a visual standpoint, it's gotten a bit stale. So they decided this time around, let's up the ante. So reason number 1 you should buy this, definitely the display. They made sure to up the ante. They give it a 5.1 Super QHD AMOLED display. QHD, aka 2K, so you're getting 2560 by 1440 resolution with an amazing 577 pixels per inch. So you're gonna get a crazy clarity. Samsung has definitely toned down on the overblown colors and oversaturation. I mean, they're still there, but it's not so much. And this thing looks crazy. It's going to be hard to go back to any other 2K display. Up next is the camera. Reason number 2. The rear shooter is a 16 megapixel f1.9 sensor and has the optical image stabilization. So you're going to get some crazy good photos. You know, recording in 4K as well. We covered a lot of this on the camera test, but for those of you who skipped over that, the lower aperture gives you better abilities in low light, and it works pretty well. Now, some of you may have, they actually released this information a little bit afterwards. Some of you may have an ISOCELL sensor, or some of you have a Sony sensor. There's not a huge difference between the two. Of course, I think the Sony was like a hair better, but either way, you won't be disappointed. Crisp, sharp pictures, images, and as well as great, clean, high frame rate videos. Again, we talked about the design. Design is beautiful. No more faux leather, no plastic here. This is all metal, baby. You got Gorilla Glass panel on the front and on the rear. So, you know, and then metal around the edges. So you definitely want to case up. It feels like the iPhone in regards to it being, just feels great in your hand, but it's Gorilla Glass, but it only can withstand so much. So you definitely put a case on it, or else you're walking around with, you know, cracked front and back on your Galaxy S6. And now for some of the in-between stuff, the stuff that's neither good nor bad, but just worth mentioning. They finally fixed their fingerprint sensor, so they made it similar to Apple's, which is the best way to utilize or copy or whatever you want to call it, because everyone else's iterations were just terrible or silly. Before you had to do like you had to swipe down on the home screen to activate it. Now it's just like a long press, boom, it's open, and it works pretty good. And so definitely looking forward to seeing how that integrates with Samsung Pay, their version of Apple Pay, which will be out sometime later this year. The speaker, they've removed the speaker. It used to be on the back. I don't know why they put it on the back. So now it's at the bottom. They're definitely cranking out better audio. It's not so tinny. It doesn't sound terrible. It sounds more premium. And though it's one speaker at the bottom, it's still not gonna beat some of these dual front-facing speakers or some of these other ones 2 speakers, but it's definitely a huge improvement for Samsung. And software. TouchWiz has gotten a little less annoying. Between that and Lollipop, I think they merged well, and I think this is easily their best iteration of TouchWiz to date. I mean, it's not as intrusive. You still have the cool things. You still have multi-window. You still have air view. You still have download booster. You still have ultra power saving mode. You still have a lot of key things. And then you still have some of the other things you may or may not use, like S Health, S Voice, all this other stuff, Flipboard, and all that other stuff that you may or may not use. So all that's still present. You know, Samsung finally came to the plate and offered a premium flagship that pretty much everybody's been craving for. Well, everybody except those who actually enjoyed the waterproof body on the S5 last year. You guys are shit out of luck, because they said screw it, we're doing this. So we have the choice between the S6 and the S6 Edge, which I don't have. That's why I don't have them both at the same time. There are the premium design does, take some things away. Like you have, smaller batteries, so the battery life isn't as long as it used to be, but it's not terrible. The performance can be a little janky. I'm not sure if that's is that Samsung's own Exynos processor or TouchWiz leaks. There's just different things, but it's not to the point. It's not to the point of not buying it, but it's just definitely something worth noting if you are. Gave it an A-. There were some things that we could have gave it a higher score. So this is definitely a great example of Samsung stepping out of their comfort zone and achieving something magnificent. Now I'm looking forward to see what happens when they finally get all the kinks out. That is what I'll be waiting for. But in the meantime, again, thank you for watching. If you haven't yet to do so, please subscribe, like, and share. And then everything that we didn't cover, you want to see covered about the S6, please let us know in the comments. We'll make sure we get attend to them right away.